22nd of May 2005. My father was murdered by 3 men. Brutal and unforgiving. Now, only 10 years on, they're being released. Nick Bryant, Tom Shaw and George Kinley, murderers set free. But I've been waiting for them. Waiting for their release. I will avenge my father. Bring justice where the law failed to provide any. Even if it means taking them out one by one.
As you can see, that was the introduction to this question. So, without further ado, I shall answer it. In order for the marketing of my media product to be effective, my 2 ancillary tasks, a poster for the film and a magazine front cover, needed to convey the right tone of the film for my target audience, to really grab their attention so that they watch my film instead of a different one. This means that I needed to know exactly what conventions successful posters and magazine front covers used, so that I could replicate that success within my own products. For my poster, I researched other posters from the action thriller genre and similar genres. While researching these, I found some common conventions between the posters, such as a phrase that hints something about the plot to the audience, and the main character or characters are often used as the hotspot of the poster, while the title of the film is towards the bottom in bold, blocked letters. These are aspects I wanted to include in my own poster, as generally this made for an aesthetically pleasing poster, and as my film sticks to common conventions of action thriller films, I did not want to stray far from a conventional film poster, as this may put off my target audience. However, to make my poster stand out from the others, I took inspiration from Killer Elite, with the block of colour towards the bottom of the poster, which then had the title of the film in front of that. This completely juxtaposed the black and white colour scheme of the rest of the poster, allowing for the title and characters to stand out individually. Therefore, this is something I applied to my own poster, as it appeared to suit my style of film. I think the phrase that I added to my poster, "When the law fails you, there is only one thing you can do," helped hint to the plot of the film, allowing for a better link between both products, and was helpful in keeping the audience's attention. In terms of composition, this helped fill out what would otherwise have been a useless blank space on my poster, which would have made the poster less exciting, and audiences would not have been able to make such an obvious link between film and poster. As with many film posters, a prop can help entice the audience in, and, with the action thriller genre, the audience is predominantly male, so a weapon would work in favour of my target audience's preferences. With this in mind, I made sure that my protagonist that was on the poster was holding the prop that was being shown and used in my film trailer, the gun, a typically masculine orientated object. This is an obvious link between film and poster, making an effective connection for the audience to want to view the actual film, as they are aware of what kind of potential scenes and props the film comprises of. When producing my magazine front cover, my main inspiration was Empire magazine, as this magazine, in my opinion, is one of the biggest film magazines available, and so audiences would more likely be able to recognise this type of magazine than any other. So, taking conventions from this magazine was something I wanted to do with my own magazine front cover. The first thing I decided on was the name of my magazine. Typically, film magazine names are associated with, shocker, films. I wanted the same type of short, snappy title that Empire uses, and so came up with the name Extra. This word is associated with films as you need extras for films. On DVDs you have extra features, and in terms of marketing there is the famous phrase extra extra. So readers of this magazine would automatically associate the title with films or general media. To overcome the potential problem of using just a photograph with a boring background, I created a background that was associated with planning, a blueprint, which, for the viewer, would connote a very subtle hint towards the plot. However, at first the blueprint looked tacky and was not as aesthetically appealing as the backgrounds of Empire magazine. Therefore, I blurred the image and tinted the image to a purple/green. These colours appear to complement each other, with the title of the magazine in white, creating a front cover that stands out from the very start, while the blurred effect makes the front cover resemble similar characteristics to the business Marvel. For my main image, the character of Adam Crane, for the front cover, I decided I wanted to keep the same type of pose, clothing and prop usage, as this would be the most obvious link between all three products, allowing for them to work together to keep one overall constant for the audience, my main character. So that my background was visible, I deleted the background from the original photograph so that just the outline of the model was visible. For my magazine front cover, I made my image in colour so that there was a slight difference between poster and magazine. This allowed for my front cover to be more stimulating for the viewer. With the combination of colour from the background and white title, I decided to keep the colours rather dark so that the character did not look too out of place with the unnatural background. I positioned the main image off-centre for two reasons. First reason, the original image did not look natural when isolated into a smaller size. And, as this was the only image I added to my front cover, I wanted it to take up enough space for it to be the hotspot and show that it is an important film that the magazine is featuring. As my house style was light yellow and white, this juxtaposed my character's warmer skin tones, meaning the main headline, the title of my film, stood out, with the same type of underlining and enlarged letter R that can be associated with my poster. Underneath, the main headline is a small cell line, access to the biggest film of 2016. This is a big claim, which will get an audience interested to the fact that it claims to be an amazing film, the biggest one of the year. So, automatically, they can assume it will be done to a very high standard. When combining all three products, my main task and ancillary tasks, I believe that the use of all three together is an effective way of marketing my film. The theme in every product is consistent, with aspects of the film remaining the same throughout. For example, the costume stays the same within every product. The main character is featured in each one, and the gun is featured in every product. This is so that each product shows an aspect of continuity from one to the next. This in turn helps build excitement for my target audience, as they begin to have their first glimpses into the main character they will be watching, and start to be intrigued by the plot line and ask questions about it like, why has he got a gun? Who is he going after? I wanted to apply Barthes' hermeneutic and proeretic codes to my products so that the audience is intrigued by not only my trailer, but my poster and magazine front cover, as they all hint to certain parts of the plot, but do not fully explain them. Whilst the phrase I used on my poster, "When the law fails you, there is only one thing you can do," builds suspense as the audience begins to guess what my main character will be doing when he takes it into his own hands. Overall, I think that the combination of my trailer, magazine front cover, and poster works successfully to draw my target audience in by sticking simply to conventions of each product, as this is what audiences are accustomed to seeing, and so markets the film just as well as other films in the action thriller genre. If I had chosen to do a film in the thriller genre, I would have attempted more unconventional marketing techniques, like making an unorthodox poster. However, due to the nature of action thriller films, sticking to conventions of each advertising method is more likely to entice my target audience in.